Thank you very much, David. As David said, I'm Andy Hancox. I'm the director of the West Midlands RIEP, and I'll be saying a little bit about what RIEPs are in a minute. But I think, firstly, say welcome to the West Midlands, and thank you all for coming here today. I think today feels like quite an important session to me as we kick off on the LIA. I won't call them liars, LIA programme. So good that there's so many people here today. Just a little bit of context. It seems to me that we're living in very interesting times at the moment. The economic situation is clearly dominating everything in our lives and feels like a pretty fundamental turning point to me. And I don't really think we know where it's going to turn out and what the impact on the sort of work that we do will be. At a slightly more mundane level, however, I think what we're seeing is big changes in the way improvement activity is carried out. I think there's a recognition that improvement activity is better done at the local level, towards the ground, less emphasis on national programmes. And I think there's also it's a refreshing approach that says that improvement activity, rather than being done to people, they need to own, take the lead in their own improvement. I think the perception in government, as I see it, and in the sector, is that we're now in a position on the improvement journey that the sector needs to take greater responsibility for its own improvement. So sector-led improvement is the buzzword in the world in which I operate, and that's really the context for my remarks just now. I think it's the context in which the LIAs have been devolved to the RIEPs, and the context in which I think we hope to see the LIAs working as we go forward. Just very briefly, just say a little bit about the aims of the session today. I think David's touched on it, but really it's an opportunity to bring people together, to think about the way the LIAs will work, to make connections, to explore some of the issues, some of them practical, some of the sort of the bigger issues as well. And I think really from my side to ensure that the programme gets off to a really good start. And as I say, it's I think we have more here. Have we got more here than you were anticipating, David? It seems a very, or we're running the programme on a shoestring then. I think we're because we're cramming people in. But no, it's good. So what I'm going to do now is just talk a little bit about the RIEPs, because it's not exclusively the RIEPs that you'll be working with, but that's very much the context. So RIEPs have a fixed life. We have a 3-year life from 2008 to 2011, created as part of the CSR07 settlement. The intention really, I think, was to try and simplify the improvement sector. When you talk, and I'm sure you get this at least as much as I do, when you talk to local authorities and people on the ground, they say there's too many improvement advisors, there's too much improvement activity, never does quite what they want. So I think the RIEPs were intended to try and join that up, to simplify that regional architecture. We'll see, time will tell whether we achieve that, but I think we see our role very much as a catalyst for trying to bring activities together, to bring people together, and to use what funding we have to achieve that. We are part of the local government sector. We're governed by our members and officer chief execs in the region. So we are part of local government, the local government sector. Our brief is to support sector-led improvement, as I've said. I think it's interesting, and we seem to have strong links into government as well at the moment from RIEPs. I think we're seen, and I think these things go through phases, but at the moment we're certainly seen as a very important delivery vehicle by government, and hence the devolution of the LIAs to the RIEPs is part of that sort of process. And we're certainly talking to government at the moment about the devolution of resources and activities on a number of fronts with a number of government departments. So it's an interesting time. So strong links into government. Funding, and I've just used the West Midlands here as an example. Over the 3-year life of the RIEP, we're going to have something like £22 million of funding. That's about 7 million a year, plus other bits of money that are coming in, as I say, from other government departments, which is becoming quite substantial.